Hmm, this ought to be interesting. Oh, hey everybody, welcome back to This Is What We Do. I'm Bruce. Hey, one of my friends gave me this generator, and another friend wants to borrow it. Well, the only problem is it doesn't run too good. So, what we're going to do is we've already taken a kind of a fast look at it earlier. It's got a carburetor problem. And what we did is we disassembled the carburetor, we cleaned it, but there was a lot of heavy varnish in there. And just because of the sake of time, we decided to opt to just replace the carburetor. Now, this generator is nothing fancy. I believe it's 3 or 4 thousand watt. I don't know. I'll look at the other side here. But anyway, it's not very old. Doesn't have much runtime on it. But with that carburetor issue, it's just not reliable. It hunts and surges, and with a generator you don't want that because of voltage spikes. It could blow out whatever you're plugging into it. So moving along, we've got a few things. We've got a carburetor here. This came off the Jungle store, and it's kind of a cool little kit. It gives you a fuel filter, gives you some of the plastic lines, new choke lever. I'll show you that in a minute. This one here is pretty ratty. And a carburetor and all the gaskets that you need, which is really cool. But this thing was, I believe it was less than 20 bucks, maybe less than 25 bucks. And it looks exactly like what's on the engine now. So we're going to go ahead and take this apart, swap this out, show you a couple things. And it's something different than we usually do. We're usually working on cars and stuff like that. But some of the folks out there wrote to me on the side, say, hey, we don't work on cars. We work on other stuff because you put some different content on there. Excuse the trash. We don't want to litter. Um, so I said, sure, I'll try something different. So this is the first thing that rolled down. Not a lot of tools needed. Uh, got a pair of slip jaw pliers, a razor blade, and a scraper. A pair of needle nose. I've got a pick just in case we need it. A cup of coffee because it's cold out here in West Virginia this morning, and just a metric socket set because pretty much all this Chinese stuff is metric, and glasses for those who are over 50 and are a little bit impaired. So let's get started. Okay, move my stuff out of the way here. First thing we want to do is get to the carburetor, and you can see someone had a piece of cardboard in there holding that choke lever. We won't need that, hopefully, if we did this right when we're done. So we'll go ahead and take the air filter cover off. Pretty straightforward, it just unscrews. And I believe, yeah, there's a little plastic snap on it there too. Got unscrewed all the way. That goes down there. Air filter, not in bad shape. Probably could use a new one. It's been cleaned. It's just old and stained. The fuel is off. That's what we want. So let's go ahead and disconnect that line. And this is not good old, how you say, American-made fuel line. This stuff gets gummy and sticky, and eventually what happens is this stuff here just turns into a goo, goes down inside the carburetor, messes it up, makes more work for you. Let's see what else we got here. This is a vent from the tank. We don't need that on there either. We're going to put it back on. But for what we're doing, we don't need that. So we'll just take this off, loop that up here, and this other little tube. This is a crankcase vent, kind of like a PCV valve and a carburetor type setup on your old cars. So we just take these two 10mm nuts off. Pretty straightforward. Probably can't get to that one around the corner. Yeah, I can. Take this off. Just two nuts hold this air cleaner assembly to the engine. And this just kind of pulls off. And everything falls apart, but that's normal. And gasket plate. All right, so now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Pretty straightforward. I had this off once before. The only thing I noticed is a little quirky. Let me get you in closer so you can see. Okay, so this linkage here goes to the governor, and there's this very small spring. I'm gonna take that choke lever off. Just get out of the way. This spring is used to take up the slack in the linkage. That's the only purpose of it. But without that slack being taken up, it's hard to make your adjustments. The engine wants to surge up and down, much like a carburetor issue. But that kind of makes it a little more stable. So we take that loose. And then this, time for glasses. This linkage here just fits in a slot. And you got to rotate it to get that slot to open up just like that. See how it popped out? And we'll just lay that to the side. And you don't want to bend that linkage. It'll ruin your day, trust me. You could probably make another one out of a coat hanger, but why create work for yourself? So there we go. Lay the old carburetor down there. Grab the new carburetor. And we already checked it is just like the old one. So this little gasket here, let me just take a close look at that. Okay, so what I did off camera is I loosened up this gasket here, but I also wanted to make sure I had that gasket in this little kit, and I do. You can tell by the extra hole it has in it, and just make sure it lines up. Yep, it does. So that's cool. Little trick you can do, WD-40. You know how it is when you're taking something apart and the gaskets always want to stick and they tear. Is just take a little WD, spray it on the gasket, make it wet. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, and since that's a dry paper gasket, it's going to soak up that WD pretty fast. And then just go ahead and put it back on there. Okay, like that. All right, so now we're for the new carburetor. And where'd the spectacles go? Here we go. There's a small hole the linkage drops down into, like that. Okay. And can't put it on that way first. Just trying it. Trying to cheat there a little bit. All right, now we got it down on the studs. Drop that in that slot. It's got to drop in there. We'll get it. Just take some monkey. There we go. Drop down in there. Okay, now here's the weird part. Let me go get a flashlight because I can't see here. Just stick that on there like that. So there's a little tiny hole, and I don't want to distort the spring. So I just hold it with the needle nose, kind of clock the spring where I want it, and without distorting it too bad, find that little hole, right like that. Okay, got a little kink in that spring, and I don't want to sit there and bend that spring back and forth, make it perfect, because it's literally spring steel, and you'll just goof it up. So there you go. Carburetor's back down there. That part was pretty easy. Now, when we took this off, this big plate was behind the air cleaner box. So, all right, so once again, let's see if we have the proper gaskets. Universal doesn't fit anything. As you can see, this is probably a universal gasket. It's got some extra cutouts in it doesn't really need. But the most important thing is this atmospheric vent here. It can't be closed or blocked off. So let's go ahead and hit a little WD-40 on that. Put that back on there like that. Perfect. And we don't want to double stack gaskets. All right, well, I'll be back in a second. Let me scrape this off. You guys don't want to sit there and watch somebody scrape gaskets. So be right back. After a little bit of scraping, I decided to take this inside and put it on the wire wheel. I've never seen anything quite like this. It's almost like a rubberized plate. It's not really a gasket. So we just wire brushed that off, and there's a little bit of like varnish or something stuck to it, but it's not going to hurt anything. So anyway, let's go ahead and put that back on like that. And as you can see, there's a cutout. That atmospheric vent has to be in that cutout. Let's get our fuel line on. Let's see what that looks like. So they give you an extra long line, and I don't think I'm going to use this fuel filter. I don't know. I'm just kind of kicking around. Reason being, this one has a really good sediment bowl in the bottom. If you can see this, take a 10mm wrench with the fuel off, of course. Unscrew this. There's an O-ring in there, and it catches all the sediment, rust particles, what have you. As long as you check it and clean it periodically, it does a great job. So I don't know if I really want to put that filter on there or not. Let me just take a look here once. I know we're going to have to cut the line down, but and that's not even going to fit on there, is it? Yeah. Boy, talk about made to fit. That's tight. Let's get it up on there. See what we got to work with first. That's one fancy hose clamp. But when you work on some of these small engines, that's all they use. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just going to omit this fuel filter for now because we take pretty good care of the equipment around here. So I'm just going to let that go. We'll keep the filter, but I've seen problems with these filters before. Just there's something to show you. Sometimes the floss on the filter will let loose. It'll come loose. And it'll go inside the filter and bypass everything. And then next thing you know, it gets clogged in the needle and seat down here. Acts a lot like it's starving for fuel. And it is kind of interesting how they have a magnet. Looks like it's epoxied on the end of the filter to pick up any kind of metal. You know, it's got, well, see if you can look closer, little plastic shards right here inside the filter. See, it's nothing I did. Came out of the box like that. If that comes loose and goes inside your carburetor, it's unclogged up your brand new carburetor, so I don't think it's worth it. All right, now, choke lever. Glasses. The old choke lever just kind of flopped around, and I think it was because it something that slid around like in the back of somebody's pickup truck and just slammed it and bent it. So let's see if we can figure out how to get this on here. All right, so we'll go ahead and put the line on. Get that down on there. Hose clamp on. As you can see, this is a pretty fast job. It's not bad. I think we really lucked out the fact that we could find one of these carburetors, and it turns out to be exactly the same. And for the price, you know, if your time has value to it, and you can get something like this so cheap, and of course, if it works, your money ahead. So we're just trying this out, see what happens. No, where'd that go? I'll use the other one. Oh, underneath the generator. Okay. So, and we'll just kind of get these snug for the moment. We'll go ahead and put our crankcase vent hose back in, get our cardboard out of the way because hopefully we don't have to use that anymore. Double check our bolts. Good and snug. And good and snug. Double check our choke. It's really stiff, but it does work good. Fuel is off, fuel is on. Let's get our light away from here. So we turned our fuel on, and while that's sitting to see if we have any leaks, because you really don't want a leaky generator. That could be a fire hazard. We'll go ahead and put our tank vent hose back on while that's sitting. And we'll move some of our tools around. Air filter. We're just doing a test fire right now, but before I seal this thing up and consider it done, typically what you do is you put a little bit of motor oil on the filter. You could even use 2-cycle oil, and then just squeeze out the excess, just moisten it with oil. And what that does is it picks up all the dirt particles, and these filters are meant to be washed out. So actually you can see in the bottom of the filter, see the oil's been laying. You can work that around. And that's all you got to do. When they get gasoline soaked, they expand, they blow up, and blow up, not blow up, but they get bigger. The foam reacts to the gasoline. All right, so put our air cleaner back on here. It's a little floppy because one of the brackets are broken, probably from sliding around the pickup truck. Holding the generator with one hand, a cold one with the other. Cold soft drink. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Spin this bad boy around. Let's see. Engine on, engine off, engine on. Okay. What else we got here? Power indicator light. We've got a voltmeter. Circuit breaker. This is a 120 volt breaker. Excuse me, receptacle. Got another one here. DC. So I think I have the cable around here somewhere, but it takes a special plug. You could plug this in and use this to charge a battery directly, which is kind of cool. So, all right, nothing's been staged. Let's see what happens. The choke has an indicator on it, start and run. Start just means full choke. Okay, and we know it's on, so let's see what happens. All right, nothing yet. Wouldn't that be something if we didn't have any gas in there? A little bit, enough for what we're doing. All right. So let me just double check one more thing here real quick. Glasses back on. Make sure I didn't. No. Okay. There we go. Just had to pull it enough times to prime it. So you can see it's popping and carrying on right now, and the smoke. Whew, that's some old gas. So we're slowly going to take it off of start or choke as it warms up. And you'll hear it start to smooth out. And then take it all the way off of choke. There we go. So check it out. Cool. Okay. Let's shut it down. Let's try a hot start. Yeah, it likes the choke. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it likes choke to start up. Awesome. While that's running, let me get something to plug into it, do a load test. Take my coffee. Hopefully you can still hear me. I figured my heat gun would be a good practical test. So let's plug this in. The right way. There we go. Low. Works pretty good. Go to high. Oh yeah, it handles the load fine.
So if I had something else heavier that drew more power, I could plug into it, do a better test. But this little hair dryer works good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that was pretty easy. All that was done in real time, so it probably didn't even take me a half an hour. Not bad at all. Okay, there you have it. Simple carburetor change on a import engine generator. This is not a real high dollar unit by any means, but it does work. We've had it for a number of years, and it's not bad. So anyway, that wraps up today's video. Hopefully, if you want to attempt a project like this at home or in your shop, this video was some help to you. As always, if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, or things you'd like to see, just make a comment down below there, and take on something new, try something different, because that's what we do. Take care.